Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today we're going to be talking about the timing of the prayer. Allah the Almighty said, إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ كَانَتْ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ كِتَابًا مَوْقُوتًا. Certainly the prayer had been set to the believers in time ordering. That means it should be performed on its due timing. That means you should not be waiting for the prayer, for example, Salat al-Dhuhr, delaying it or giving it all in one time at night. Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, all at the same time. In 15 minutes, for example, time, we perform all the prayers. Some people do that and they think that God will be bargaining with them. Can't be. It's a matter of worship that have been set on time. Just like standing at the day of Arafah. It should be at the 9th day of the Hijjah. If you came on the 8th day, if you stood at Arafah at the 8th day, your Hajj is not accepted. If you stood at Arafah at the 10th day, your Hajj is not accepted. Pilgrimage. You should be there at the 9th day, exactly. And no bargaining. And if you missed to stand at Arafah at the 9th day, then your whole Hajj is not accepted. Because the Prophet said, Al-Hajj Arafah. The whole Hajj is a matter, the Hajj is Arafah. That means if you did not stand at Arafah, you did not perform the Hajj. Likewise is a matter of the prayer. Some people pray Fajr at the Dhuhr time, or they pray Dhuhr after Asr, or they pray Asr and Dhuhr and Asr and Maghrib at the time of Isha, and they say, we did it. We didn't have time before. No, you should be striving to find a time. You should be striving. Okay? We know that sometimes a person has circumstances, problems. Okay? But you have to ask those who have the knowledge about whether this is justified or not. For example, in Europe, sometimes people have to attend at the universities, they have to attend the lectures. And they say, Friday we're excused because we have lectures. So I was asking them, did you ask the teacher of the admin whether they allow you to go for Friday or not? Believe me, some people said, no, we did not. So I said to them, go and ask them. And they asked the dean or the teacher, and they said, it's okay, you can go. Some others said to me, we asked and they did not allow us. I said, no problem. I said, no problem. If you tell them that I'm going to the bathroom for 2-3 minutes, will they say no? He said, no, they will allow. I said, okay. Tell them you're going to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom, take wudu. You're not lying. And it doesn't take with you 2 minutes to be one, and there's other two with you, and you give a small sermon for no more than a minute. Then you perform 2 units rak'ah in any of the corner of the university, and your Friday prayer is accepted. Just 2 or 3 minutes. And this is on weekly basis. So they should be allowing you. So, it is important that you perform the prayer on time. Let's talk about when the timing of the prayer begins. For Salat al-Dhuhr, the prayer of Dhuhr, it begins from the inclining of the sun. Look, if the sun is in the middle, as they say, in the liver of the sky, in the midst of the sky, you don't pray until it starts to fall. And if it's very hot, it is better to delay, postpone the prayer. If it's very cold, it is better to proceed, to advance, to rush the prayer. This is the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as narrated by Sahih Bukhari and Muslim. The beginning of Salat al-Dhuhr, as I mentioned, it begins from the zawal, inclining of the sun, until the shadow of everything will be as its length, equal, unless the timing of Asr comes. The beginning of Salat al-Asr is when, starting with everything, or the shade will be equal to the length of the object, any object, yourself for example. If your shadow became as equal as the length of yourself, unless the sun start to yellowish. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever reached one rak'ah of Asr before the falling of the sun, okay, he had already achieved the prayer of Asr. Okay, but he should not be postponing Salatul Asr until the sun becomes yellow, deeply yellow, extremely yellow. Because he said, alayhi salatu about those who delay the prayer after its due time. He said, this is the prayer of the hypocrite. He keeps observing, watching the sun, until when it becomes between the two horns of the devil, he stands up and prays it as quick as the crow touched the thing by its mouth. Just like that. This is the prayer of the hypocrite. Very fast. Okay? He said, this is the prayer of the hypocrite. So you should not be doing this. This hadith is narrated by Muslim and Muwatta. And he, alayhi salatu wasalam, explained to us that why it is not allowed to delay the prayer after Asr, because the Prophet doesn't want our prayer to resemble the prayer of the pagan people who used to be, at that time, before dusk, they used to be worshipping the sun. Or someone may say, but we're not worshipping the sun. I know. But it's an extreme caution that the Prophet gave, that he doesn't want your prayer, which is the prayer of Tawheed, sincere prayer, to be resembling in its time the prayer of the pagans. Okay? The Prophet said that performing the prayer at that time, it resembles the prayer of the disbelievers. At that moment, when the sun starts to fall, dusk, they used to be making sujood, prostrating for the sun. This is what the Prophet said, and that is in Sahih Muslim. Also, the prayer of Maghrib. The prayer of Maghrib. So, starting from the falling of the sun until the red twilight start to vanish and disappear. Because the Prophet ﷺ said that the Maghrib, the timing of the Maghrib, is when the sun falls until or unless the red twilight will disappear. That is why there's a common mistake that some people say that we can delay it until the moment of the adhan of Isha, and that is a mistake. Okay? So because Maghrib prayer should be between the falling of the sun, okay, the sunset, until the red twilight start to disappear. That is the right time. The prayer of Isha will be at the moment when the red twilight disappears, and it will remain until the middle of the night. Not to the Isha prayer, not to the Fajr prayer. And many people think that it is still okay unless, just maybe some minutes before Salatul Fajr. That is not true. It may be accepted, but it is a matter of sin. It is a period of sin. if you perform it, okay, after the middle of the night, it is a sin. But it's the correct time of Salatul Isha is at the middle of the night. It is okay. And the Prophet said, hadn't I have fear for my nation, I would have been ordering my nation to delay Salatul Isha until thuluth, third part of the night, or the middle of the night, or the middle of the night. This is what the Prophet, peace be with him, said. And that is narrated in Sahih, in At-Tirmidhi and An-Nasa'i authentically. Okay. Also regarding Salat al-Witr, Salat al-Witr. Al-Witr, it is preferable for you to perform, for example, Qiyam at night, which is the honor of the believer. Praying at night is the honor of the believer. When people are falling into sleep, you stand up, you shun your bed, shun your wife, and keep performing prayer at night to Allah Almighty. So Salatul Witr is 1 rak'ah. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu, the prayer of night is pair. Then if you fear Fajr, then perform Witr 1. Witr 1. Where did he say it? In Sahih Muslim. Okay? طيب. So what is the significance of Salatul Witr? Salatul Witr is an odd number. And Allah loves the odd number, which is 1, because Allah is 1. So you seal the pair, you seal it with 1 to the 1 Almighty. Now, people may ask this question: what is better, to delay Salatul Witr right before the Fajr time, or to advance it? That depends. If you sleep early and you have the zeal, okay, you are keen, you are hopeful to perform Salatul Qiyam, okay, at the last part of the night, it is better for you to postpone performing Witr until after that. If you feel that you may not make Qiyam, okay, then it is preferable for you to perform Witr right before you sleep. Another thing, what if you performed Witr and you slept, thinking that because Allah wants your Witr to be the seal of your prayer at night, to be sealed by the Witr. But what if someone woke up after he performed Salatul Witr, then he found himself able to perform the prayer? Then in this case, you can perform what you will of the night prayer. Then you can make another Witr. There's no problem. Because the principle is that you let your night prayer be sealed by Witr. It is true that the Prophet said there is no 2 Witr at one night. It is true. But if this happens only when a person did not have the intention to perform 2 Witrs, he had the intention to perform 1. But when he found himself able to make more Qiyam, okay, he can't sleep, for example, okay, in this case, it is preferable for him that he performs another Witr. Why? Because the principle is to let your night prayer be sealed with Witr before the timing of Salatul Fajr. That's it. Now we come to the prayers which are forbidden for you to perform. Prayers are forbidden to be performed. Performing to pray after Fajr, it is prohibited until the sun rises. Okay? Performing the prayer when it rises, unless it goes a little bit higher. Let's say, for example, if the rising of the sun is 7, then you can perform the prayer 10 minutes after that. 10 minutes after that. It's a matter of 10 minutes. Also, performing any prayer when the sun is in the middle of the sky until it inclines a little bit. Number 4, performing any prayer after Asr until the sun sets. But also, we would like to ask this question. What if I entered the masjid minutes before Maghrib prayer? Should I pray Tahiyyat al-Masjid? We say yes. And this in itself proves that Tahiyyat al-Masjid, they call it the salutation of the masjid. It is obligatory, because usually you're not allowed to perform any voluntary prayer at that time, but only when you enter the masjid. Why? Because the fact is that this Tahiyyat al-Masjid is obligatory. It is not advisable. Another example. The Prophet was giving a Friday sermon. As he was giving the Friday sermon, a man entered the masjid and he sat down immediately without performing Tahiyyat al-Masjid. Then the Prophet interrupted his sermon, stopped his sermon, and he addressed that man, saying to him, stand up and pray, for if any of you enters the masjid, he should not be sitting until he engages himself with a prayer. You say, even just 1 minute before the setting of the sun, the set of the sun? I say, yes, even. Okay? Okay. Now, what is the exception to this? The exception is Tahiyyat al-Masjid, as I mentioned. The second exception, if when a person sleep and he found himself waking up at a forbidden period time for any prayer to be performed. We say to that person, now you need to perform an obligatory prayer. Then it is allowed for you to perform it at any time. For the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever slept from performing a prayer, okay, or he forgot it, that means maybe he was sleeping on sleep, or he forgot it, فَلْيُصَلِّهَا إِذَا ذَكَرَهَا, then let him perform it instantly when he remembers it. لَا كَفَّارَةَ لَهَا إِلَّا ذَلِكَ. There is no expiation for it except this. Okay? This is the matter of the timing of the prayer. We continue, inshallah, the conditions of the sound prayer. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.